this is Professor G. The purpose of this video is to help you prepare for pitch competition, whether it's at the college level or the high school level. Over my career, I have viewed, judged, or organized at least 500 pitch presentations. I think it's actually closer to 600, but at least 500. And so that cumulative knowledge that I've acquired is what I'm going to share with you. Pitch competitions are lost in the first 2 minutes. They're not won in the first 2 minutes, but they certainly are lost in the first 2 minutes. And what do I mean by that? If we are a minute and 30 seconds or 2 minutes into your presentation, and we, the judges, are still trying to figure out, what is your business about? What is your value proposition? What is the problem that you're solving? We're going to stop paying attention. We're just going to kind of shut down, and everything forward, you're kind of losing us. So it's critical that when you start your presentation, that you hook the judge's attention, that the value proposition, the problem, solution, you get to those as quickly as possible. Tell a story, make it personal. When you're starting your presentation, make it personal. You don't want this to be a mechanical process where you're up there reading a script. You want to share something, a personal connection that you have with your business, something that makes this a personal narrative, and also that story tends to hook the attention of the judges, so make it personal. Catch the judge's attention in the beginning with a hook. So a hook is going to be some type of phrase that you bring into the beginning of your presentation that catches the audience's attention, especially the judges. And you'll want to get some feedback on the effectiveness of your hook before you use it at the pitch. So come up with a hook, a phrase that's going to catch some attention, and then test it with your friends and others. Speak with the judges. They're not scary people. I know that some people will tell you when you're doing a presentation to look at the back of the room and look over the audience's heads, stuff like that. No, this is different. If there are 100 people in the room, you ignore all of them but the judges. You simply look at the judges and you speak directly with them, not at them, but with them. This is a conversation between you and the judges, and treat it as a conversation. Never hide behind the podium. I know some people, they like having the podium. They'll stand there and they'll grip the podium and they'll white knuckle it because they're nervous, they're scared. I get that. I'm not, naturally an extrovert, and so I understand the anxiety and all of that stuff that goes with public speaking. But that podium becomes kind of a crutch, a tool. So if you are not prohibited, meaning that some presentations you may be required to stand behind the podium because of the microphone or because of the way it's being filmed. But if there is no prohibition, you want to step out and away from the podium and take a step forward towards the judges. That shows the judges that you actually have an interest in them. So no hiding behind the podium. Note cards. Never use them. We, the judges, don't know what you intend to say. We don't know what you intend to cover. And so it's not imperative that you hit everything perfectly well. So you need to practice, and you need to ditch the note cards. Asking a question at the start is a huge risk. I have seen so many times when a young person gets up there and they're pitching a wonderful business, but they lead with a question and it doesn't resonate with the audience, and there's this dead silence. At that point, the pitch is over. You're not going to recover from that. And so here's my position on this. I'm not telling you absolutely don't ask a question, but if you're going to ask a question at the beginning of a pitch, you better test that question with others and make sure that it's going to work. You cannot experiment when you're on the stage. Judges don't know your script. If you make a mistake, don't panic. I was judging a pitch competition once, and a young person apparently missed something that they had wanted to say and got frustrated and actually walked off the stage. Up until that point, the presentation was perfect. It was beautiful in every way. So we, the judges, don't know what you intend to tell us. You're the only person who will know if you misspoke slightly or missed a line or a few words. So do not panic. Just take it in stride and keep going forward. Be enthusiastic. If you do not have energy for your pitch, judges are not going to vote for you and you're not going to win. So whatever you need to do, you need to walk on that stage with energy. You need to be enthusiastic because that enthusiasm will inspire us. Never read the screen or the slides, the PowerPoint, whatever you're doing. Don't read the slides. The slides are there to essentially support what you're telling the judges, what you're sharing with the judges. And so what you want to do is ignore the slides as much as possible. If you're looking at the slides, if you're reading the slides, the judges are going to stop listening to you and they're going to actually start reading the slides, which defeats the purpose of the presentation. Now, in a perfect world, if you're standing here and you're pitching to an audience that's out there, sometimes there's a cheat screen that you can see. That's perfect. That's fine. If there's not, what you can sometimes do, if you need to, on occasion, refer back to your screen, stand off to the side and look at the screen from the side. You do not want to turn your back to the audience at any time. Over words 100%. To the extent that you're able to use pictures, when you're describing your perfect customer, have a picture of your perfect customer. I mean, what better than to have a visual of your customer? To the extent that you're able, keep everything simple. We're not here to impress the judges in terms of our knowledge. We're actually here to communicate and share, our business, our startup, our new venture with the judges. Avoid complex spreadsheets. They look impressive, yes, but not to judges. What you want to do is you want to take the key items from your financials, put those in a slide, but you want to make that a visual slide, a visually appealing slide that somebody in the back of the room can read. I've been in presentations where students copy, paste into a presentation a complex Excel spreadsheet, and you literally can't read it at all. And it just ruins a presentation. So let's keep the financials very simple, very straightforward, and just the essentials. If there is a Q&A section at the end of your presentation, what you might want to do, as long as it doesn't violate the rules of your particular competition, is have a detailed financial and a detailed customer market slides available so that if a judge says, hey, I have a question about your financials, how did you get to here? You can click to that additional slide, kind of like an appendix, and pull up the financials and demonstrate, how you got to your assumptions. You can also demonstrate some data that supports more strongly your customer, your market. And so have some go-to slides at the end. And again, those are like an appendix. You're not going to go to those unless a judge asks a specific question. And so you're essentially preparing for that judge who's going to ask maybe a highly detailed question. Close with a call to action. When you're pitching to a group of investors or judges and they're taking on the role of investor, you're really trying to get them excited to go on this amazing startup, new venture journey. And so invite them on the journey. You want to, in your own words, invite them to join your team and go on this journey. For some competitions, you might have to detail how you would spend the money, how would you would use the money. Even if that's not part of the competition, you still want to have a call to action. Lastly, be prepared for a tech failure. When I organize pitch competitions, if the technology fails, the pitch goes on. So what does that mean? Could you give your pitch without a PowerPoint screen behind you? And so print your slide deck in paper form, bring it with you, don't take it up on stage. But in the event that there is a power outage, tech failure, doesn't matter what it is, and I've had this happen on 2 different occasions where we lost technology for some reason, the show goes on. And so you have to be able to pitch live without the assistance of a screen behind you. And so always come prepared for tech to fail. Always bring your slide deck in a backup form. Yes, you've probably supplied it to whoever's hosting the event, but bring it in a backup form. These tips are really geared towards making you achieve a higher level of success at any pitch competition. Remember that when you start the pitch, you want to make it personal. You want to have a story. So share something about, what's your connection with this business. We want to see authenticity. We want to see passion. Share a story. Move on to who your problem, customer, solution, and just be passionate throughout the entire pitch and really pull in the audience and the judges into your pitch. Have a great time.